Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive deep.
Always.
Today, it's Mariah Carey, but not just the hits. Everyone knows those. We're going deeper.
Oh, we've got a ton. Articles, her memoir, interviews.
This isn't just music. It's a whole story.
Resilience, reinvention, using your voice.
Plurally and figuratively, right?
Exactly. And the thing is, her beginnings.
They were rough, weren't they? These early sources.
Teenager in New York, struggling, even homelessness.
And then, bam, superstardom. It's almost hard to grasp.
And the music industry back then, late 80s.
Not exactly welcoming to, well.
A young biracial woman with, as one source puts it, big dreams.
But she had those dreams. And then comes Tommy Mottola.
At Sony Music, big power player.
It's like a movie plot, but with,
Five-octave vocals.
that debut album in 1990.
Vision of Love. Love Takes Time.
I bet you're hearing them in your head right now.
Those weren't just catchy tunes. They were
Showcasing something special, weren't they?
5 octaves.
Yeah.
Most singers use 2, maybe.
It's like,
A painter with every color imaginable, that's her voice.
and those emotions. Longing, hope.
Universal stuff, everyone's felt it. That's why they connected. Deeply.
But it wasn't a fluke.
Oh no. More #1 Billboard hits than any solo artist ever.
Emotions, fantasy.
Lives Always Be My Baby. Anthems for a whole generation.
And not just one generation. Come on.
True. Think 2005, the emancipation of Mimi.
We Belong Together was everywhere.
Reinvention, but staying true to herself? Remarkable.
But there were tough times, too. Glitter. Ouch.
2001 was rough for her personally and professionally.
Album flopped, film too, and everyone was watching.
Not always kindly.
But then years later, this Justice for Glitter movement
Fan-driven, online, pushing it back up the chart.
flopped a cult classic practically overnight.
The power of fans shifting the narrative. That's
Mark.
huge.
And it shows how deep that connection is with her audience.
Not marketing, genuine grassroots. Says a lot.
From potential career ender to testament to resilience. And speaking of,
Oh, we have to talk about New Year's Eve 2016.
everyone remembers something about that night.
The whole world watching those technical difficulties.
But it's how she handled it. That's what gets me.
Total grace under pressure. Didn't crumble.
Owned it. Turned it into a joke, a meme.
Resilience right there. Taking control of the narrative.
Which brings us to the diva persona.
Ah, yes. Those controversies.
I don't know her. Come on, that's iconic.
Pure pop culture gold. But it makes you wonder.
How calculated is it? Image or real personality?
Right. We see the snippets, the demands, the feuds.
Easy to slap that diva label on, but
Is it that simple? Think of the context.
woman in a male-dominated industry.
Huge GE pressure, different standards. It's no secret.
So maybe diva is self-preservation.
Could be. Protecting her creativity, her
It's
control.
like saying, I'm in charge, don't mess with me.
Interesting point. Pushing back against expectations.
Makes you think how we judge strong women.
Compared to men with the same traits.
Something for our listener to ponder. Those biases.
Crucial point, especially with someone like Mariah.
Decades in this industry, the ups and downs.
And she's not just about music and spotlight.
There's the philanthropy, the mental health advocacy.
The mother she is. There's depth there.
So much more to her than meets the eye.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so fascinating.
It's that multifaceted thing, right? More than just singing. And this constant evolution, it's striking. How does she stay relevant?
That's the question, isn't it? It's got to be more than just talent.
Way more. Like the Rarities, that 2020 album.
Not just hits. It's a peek behind the curtain.
Those early demos, the raw vocals.
The experimentation.
Yeah.
You don't usually see that.
Like she's letting us into her world, showing.
Even superstars start somewhere.
It's that human side that makes her relatable.
And she's not afraid to share the personal stuff.
Her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey.
Big step. That bipolar diagnosis, the industry struggles.
Destigmatizing mental health, it's huge.
And brave to be that open with that much pressure.
To be perfect all the time.
That's why it resonated. Being honest,
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Makes it okay for others to do the same.
Not being okay, I.S. okay. Seeking help, I.S. strength.
Powerful statement. And mental health advocacy.
Clearly close to her heart.
But we can't not talk about the Christmas song.
It's everywhere this time of year, inescapable.
All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's more than a song. Yeah.
It's a phenomenon. Decades at the top, still going strong.
I mean, it's playing nonstop already. And
It feels fresh every year. How does she do it?
is it the melody? The lyrics?
Yeah.
That Mariah magic?
Hard to say. It's catchy, festive, the vocals are. Well, hers.
But maybe it's the timing too, right?
Think about it. Mid-90s, relatively peaceful, pre-internet.
Before everything changed so drastically.
9/11, the constant information overload.
That song came out in 94. It captures something.
Pure joy, optimism. We crave that, especially around holidays.
Like a sonic time capsule of a specific feeling.
And it's tradition now, part of the holiday soundtrack.
In stores, on the radio, a shared experience.
Saying some things stay constant even as the world changes.
Testament to her vision. It's not just a hit, it's cultural.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But she hasn't stopped there.
New music, collaborations, even cookies now.
That adaptability again. Evolving, connecting with fans.
It's not trend chasing, it's being Mariah.
Saying, I'm still here, still relevant, powerful.
Especially for women in an industry obsessed with youth.
Age is a number, talent doesn't expire, she proves it.
So, from all these sources, what's the takeaway?
Mariah's journey says resilience is more than bouncing back.
It's evolving, embracing change, using your voice.
Literally, figuratively, to own your narrative.
It's power, defying expectations, never giving up.
But also being vulnerable, showing yourself, making a difference.
Exactly. And that's applicable to everyone, right?
Absolutely. Musicians, professionals, anyone facing life's ups and downs.
We've talked music, resilience, impact. But what about
The controversies.
that diva thing? Does it overshadow, or is it part of the appeal?
That's for each listener to decide. But consider the context.
The industry, the double standards women face.
Could diva be self-preservation? Protecting her art, her sanity.
In a world that's so demanding, unforgiving.
Worth thinking about. Why are we fascinated by divas anyway?
What did that say about U.S.? Big questions.
But important ones. Mariah's more than a singer. She's an icon.
Sparking conversations about talent, resilience, gender, self-expression.
And it's still unfolding. As you listen, consider the whole journey.
The challenges, the triumphs, the lessons. What makes Mariah so fascinating?
Is it the music, the persona, that she keeps defying what we expect?
A lot to think about. We've just scratched the surface here.
Keep exploring the music, interviews, her work.
And keep questioning, keep discovering, keep the conversation going.
That's the beauty of a deep dive. It's just the beginning.
Wrapping up this Mariah deep dive, you know what sticks with me? It's not the hits, not the diva stuff. It's how open she is about it all.
That vulnerability.
The mental health journey, the industry side. To share that with that level of fame.
Takes guts. And that's what connects that human element.
In a world where everyone's got to seem perfect.
To see someone embrace the flaws and use their power for good.
It's refreshing, isn't it? Makes you realize, even with it all,
Fame, fortune, the voice.
the struggles are still there, the insecurities.
Like nobody's immune to life no matter what.
And by sharing, she's not just connecting, she's...
Opening up a space for dialogue, for empathy.
It's like she's giving us permission to be vulnerable, too.
To say it's okay to not be okay. To ask for help.
Especially with mental health. Long been taboo, right?
Big time. Image is everything in that world.
But she's changing the narrative.
Yeah.
Showing it's not weakness.
It's strength to seek help, and that openness
Helps destigmatize it all bit by bit.
creates a more compassionate world.
And she's doing this while making music, pushing boundaries.
Connecting with, 3 generations of fans now?
It's pretty inspiring.
Her whole journey says resilience isn't just bouncing back.
It's growth. It's using your voice for yourself and others.
Yeah.
So, big question, what's Mariah's legacy going to be?
Tough to say for sure. But it's bigger than music, I think.
Cultural icon, starting conversations about talent, resilience,
Gender, expressing yourself, showing you can have it all.
success on your terms, A&D, make a difference.
And she's still going, evolving, creating, defying expectations.
Makes you wonder what's next, honestly.
We've barely scratched the surface here. Go deeper, folks.
The music, interviews, her charity work, it's all out there.
Keep asking those questions. Keep discovering.
That's what this is all about, right? Just the start of the journey.
Exactly. Now it's your turn to dive in.